as we visit Blue Sky Vineyards.
Hi, this is Jim DeVue with the Illinois Channel, and I'm here with Barrett Rockman of Blue Sky Vineyards. Good morning, Barrett. How are you this morning?
Good morning to you, and thank you for coming all the way out here today.
Not a problem.
On this wonderful blue sky day.
It is a blue sky day. Can you tell me a little bit about why Blue Sky is here?
I'd been out to California. I'd seen the wonderful wineries out there. This was an idyllic spot because of the rolling hills, because of the height, because of soil nature. This was an absolutely ideal area for grapes.
I see we have some new construction going on behind us. Tell me a little bit about building the actual facility and what's it take to build something like this. I mean, it's a beautiful property and grounds.
A lot more money than we thought it would take, number
Naturally.
one. Number two, from the moment we built, we underbuilt. We had built to a size we couldn't even imagine, and from the day we opened up, we were undersized. The pavilion was overbuilt by error, and 2 events in there, we had to add on about 60% larger capacity.
Okay.
And every weekend during the season, this event center is filled.
Now, you say event center, and it's filled every weekend. I see today they're actually setting up for a wedding today?
Through May, June, July, August, yes.
Okay. So you will host weddings and any type of event, business events?
Chamber events. Last night, the dental hygienists had their year-end event.
Okay.
And so students came out here, and we're here at 2:30 last night dancing away. And today, this morning at 5 o'clock, we'll have a wedding. But it won't be unusual to have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And all 3 of them could be wedding days now.
Oh my gosh. Now I see behind us we have this beautiful waterfall. That wasn't there. I take it.
Well, if you have to ask the question, we've succeeded. No, it was not there. It is extremely difficult to create a natural look. Maybe the one most impossible things to do.
So would you say this is kind of your pride and joy, or a piece of your pride and joy?
This is one of my absolute pride and joys.
It's beautiful. Now, if one were to come to the area for wine tasting and a pleasant afternoon, where could I stay?
Throughout the area, there are wonderful bed and breakfasts, and that has been a noticeable thing in conjunction with the wine trail. Bed and breakfasts are springing up in larger numbers to be in conjunction with the other wineries. On site here, we have a room and a suite, and we anticipate adding about 8 more suites.
Oh, great. So you have your own bed and breakfast. And
on a very limited, and expanding.
Okay. Now, as far as the economy of southern Illinois, you know, quite honestly, it's been pretty tough. What do you think the wine industry has done for that economy?
Well, the latest numbers we seem to have is about 150,000 tourists are coming through.
Okay. That
would not have been here before. Our reach goes, obviously, Chicago because of the highway system, but Paducah, in from Kentucky, we started advertising in Paducah. Humongous numbers of people were just so happy to find us here. The St. Louis element is moving over all along Scott Air First Base to the river. We're getting larger and larger number of people, number of visitors.
Okay. And what about employment?
We employ on a full-time basis, I'm going to guess about 12 to 15. On a part-time basis in season, which is seasonal full-time, we're probably up to 25 to 30.
And that's just Blue Sky Vineyard?
That's Blue Sky Vineyard.
That you're pumping into the local economy?
Yes, sir.
Now, in building this facility, what did it take to build this facility, and who built it?
A lot of this was union built. Union electricians, union plumbers, union masons.
And local
union painters.
Union people.
Local union people.
Once again, pumping up this local economy.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Jim DeVue, and I'm in Alto Vineyard. With me today is Alyssa Ronzaglia, who's the granddaughter of the founder of Alto Vineyards, correct?
That's correct.
Your grandfather, Guy?
My grandfather is Guy, and he is one of the original founders of Alto Vineyards, sure.
And a retired professor, correct?
That's correct, yes.
So, Alyssa, tell me, what did Grandpa do? How did he get this started?
Yeah, well, my grandfather put in probably 30-plus years at Southern Illinois University, and after he retired, I guess he got a little bored in retirement and started planting grapes.
Okay.
So after we planted the grapes, we discovered that he planted 10 acres, and we probably sold our first harvest year to Linford Winery, and that was probably back in 1983. And then after that, we decided, well, we don't want to sell them anymore to other wineries. Why don't we do something with those grapes ourselves? So we decided to build the winery here that you're standing in now, Alto Vineyards.
So your grandfather planted some grapes.
That's right.
To have something to do.
Yes.
Had no intentions of a vineyard at that time.
I don't really think so, no.
And then had a problem. I got a lot of grapes. I need to do something.
That's right.
Great. Now, what type of variety of grapes and/or wines do you produce here?
Yeah, we probably produce about 18 different wine styles here, all of which are made from French-American hybrid grapes,
Okay.
which are hybrids of the classic European varietals like Chardonnay, Cabernet, those things, those kinds of varieties.
And do you produce all your grapes here, or do you have to buy grapes from other places?
We do grow 10 acres of grapes here, and about 30% of those French-American hybrid grapes that we do grow, about 30% of those grapes are made into juice.
Okay.
And we do outsource to other wineries in Illinois too, to make up for the other 60 or 70% that we need.
But bringing income to Southern Illinois because you're buying grapes produced in Southern Illinois, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. One of the things I read is the Shawnee Hills Wine Trail. Your grandfather was somewhat instrumental in getting that going also, I believe, correct?
That's correct. He and a few others, there were three gentlemen involved. My grandfather was one. Ted Wickman from Owl Creek Vineyards, or he formerly owned that winery, also helped. And then George Micah from Pomona Winery. Those are the three integral players in starting the wine trail here.
Okay. And has that helped in promoting tourism and bringing people to this area for you?
Absolutely. Currently, to present day now, we have 11 wineries, very intermingled closely together along a very small radius. So it really brings, 11 wineries provide a 2-day destination for most folks traveling. So.
Okay, and you just mentioned 2-day destination.
Right.
Where do I stay when I get here? Because I didn't see a Holiday Inn as I drove in.
Yeah.
Are there bed and breakfast in the area?
Yes, there are. There's probably, just off the top of my head, I can probably list out 5, but there probably are about 11 total, all intermingled among the wine trail. So.
Okay. And what are the future plans for Alto Vineyards as far as growth go?
Yeah, well, we do have another outlet in Champaign-Urbana, so we have 2 wineries.
Okay.
We have one here in Southern Illinois and one in Central as well. But I think I see us growing. We get bigger and bigger every year, so we're going to break ground this spring, or this fall, I'm sorry, to provide wedding and catering events for people.
Great,
We keep
great.
getting bigger. So.
How many gallons of wine does Alto produce in a year?
Yeah, we produce roughly about 36,000 gallons of wine a year.
Making you one of the larger players in the vineyards here? One of the largest vineyards, is that correct?
Absolutely, not just in Southern Illinois, but in the state. Sure.
Oh, okay, okay. Now, one other thing, the AVA. Can you tell me a little bit about what that is and what it does for you?
Sure. AVA, it means American Viticultural Area, and what that means is that it's nationally recognized as a region for growing good quality wine grapes. And the Shawnee Hills area is one of those regions that has been nationally recognized for producing good quality wine grapes. So it provides a venue for us to market our wines in Southern Illinois.
Would you say it's a good housekeeping seal of approval for the soil and the grapes you produce?
Absolutely, I would say that.
Behind me, I see some stainless steel tanks, and I see some oak cask. Both fermenting sources or vessels?
Yes, they are. As I said before, we produce about 18 different wine varieties and wine styles. But for instance, a lot of the red varieties, like the Chancellor, the Chamberson, and the Norton, we would be inclined to put some of those varieties in oak to add a little more of a traditional characteristic to some of those wines. We also do put, for instance, like a Chardonnay, which is more like a Chardonnay style wine, in some of these oak casks to add some of those traditional characteristics that you would find in a Chardonnay. But we do, if a customer doesn't like oak, we put some of them into stainless steel to ferment them in these vessels too. So some of those varieties might be like a Niagara Concord. Some of the sweeter wines would be fermented in stainless.
Now, let me ask, do I understand you say if I'm fermenting in oak, it's a possibly drier wine than fermenting into stainless steel?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, all this talk of fermenting and cask, maybe we should go see some of the vines.
Okay.
So Alyssa, we're roaming right now, part of the original 10 acres that your grandfather had.
That's right, yeah.
So one could call this the birthplace of the Illinois winemaking industry that we're standing on.
I think we could call it that, yeah.
So this is part of history.
That is, yeah.
Now, the vines here, what type of grapes are we growing here?
This is a young Chambourcin vine here, which is a non-vinifer grape varietal that we do grow in Illinois. And in particular, we grow great quality Chambourcin here in Southern Illinois. So.
Okay. And I'm taking by the size of this vine, it might be a younger vine versus some of the vines over here that are more mature, shall we say.
That's right.
And then, are these actually the grapes that we're seeing?
This is called bud break here, and those actually, some of these vines, you can actually see little grape clusters, and those will actually spring out after the vine matures, and those shoots come off. Those will eventually mature into a nice grape cluster for us. So.
Okay, and that's what we're making our wine out of.
That's right.
Great. Now, what varieties do you grow on this
on our 10
property?
acres?
On
Yeah,
your 10 acres.
we grow, well, I already mentioned Chambourcin that we have here. We also have Chancellor.
Okay.
We do have Chardonnay.
Okay.
We have a new variety that we've planted called New York 70, and that's actually a hybrid out of Cornell University, and they haven't actually given it a name yet.
Okay.
So we're still waiting
And is
on
it a
that.
white wine, a red wine?
Red grape variety.
Okay. Okay.
We do grow a bit of Traminette, and I think that pretty well concludes what we grow in this 10 acres. So.
Great, great. Well, Alyssa, thank you so much for your time today. Really appreciate the tour. It's very informative, and it looks like lots of fun. Maybe we should head to the tasting room.
All right, let's go.
Alto Vineyards are creating more than good wines and good times. They're also creating new opportunities in the local economy.
Sarah Lefebvre, of Encore Tours, not only has the wineries grown, how has it changed your business, and what is it that your business does?
Basically, our business started because of the wineries. It started about a year ago, and it was basically something for people to come out and basically not have to drive the windy roads. The more vineyards that open do help us overall because we have more options to go to, so opens up to our business.
So you've seen the growth in your business with the growth of the wineries.
Absolutely.
Great. And do I need a large group to use Encore Tours, small group? What?
We do offer public tours, and we also do private tours. Mainly private is smallest group we do is 8, and the largest is about 550.
Great. Sarah, well, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you.
The budding Illinois wine industry is taking root, and acre by acre, transforming the landscape as well as the economy of Southern Illinois. With each new season, the vines, the wines, and the vintners improve. And along with the growth of this new industry is a growth of tourism. This growth is due in no small part to Alto Vineyards and the other pioneers of Illinois' burgeoning wine industry. Together, they're transforming not only the landscape, but the very image of Illinois agriculture. Traveling about Illinois, you're watching the Illinois Channel.